the hand I'm dealt, don't need no handout. Never did need it. Faithful to myself, don't need no handout. Never did need it. Gonna find a way myself, don't need no handout. Never did need it. Elevate with no help, don't need no handout. Never did need it. Play the hand I'm dealt, don't need no handout. Never did need it. Faithful to myself, don't need no handout. Never did. Never put worth on a handshake. Never put worth on what men say. They go back on their word like backspace, ain't no code. Watch for the devil, the gains will be sold. Spew out the venom as soon as they spout. Snakes in the green, soon as they grow. Get you more victories, enemies, soon as one missy stop popping the court. Get you a glass around me, no way. Holy water, stay by the door. Get close and it's DOA. Teaching myself of the fish. Watch close, to prepare your dish. All alone, been cooking them hits.
And welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Jay Vaz, and you're watching the Jay Vaz Show, music and entertainment at its finest. We got a guest today from Rosenberg, Texas. Before we get to there, make sure you follow us on all the social media pages at the Jay Vaz Show. Check out the website, thejvazshow.com. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. And let's get right into this. Joining us today, like I said, from Rosenberg, Texas. Marc, go ahead and introduce yourself, Marc.
Yo,
Talk to us.
Hey, man, I go by Marc The Protege. I'm from Rosenberg, Texas. Straight up, I'm from Rosenberg in Richmond, Texas, and I've been doing this for a minute, man. So I'm glad to be in the H-Town scene doing it, and it's been a nice run. So,
and some of you guys might remember the face. Marc was part of the Wiggy Wiggy top 5 finalists. We'll talk about that here in a second, man. So. Shit, let's get into the interview, man. You are from Rosenberg, Richmond area, you said.
Yes, sir.
Is that where you've lived all your life? Is that where you grew up, or is that just straight up where you from, like where you were born at?
Born and raised. I did a few times where cause I come from a split household as far as mom and dad divorced when I was an infant and shit. But So my dad, he lived out in Houston a few times where I would just come by the weekends or whatnot, but it was strictly Rosenberg and Richmond, born and raised.
All right, man. So speaking of Rosenberg, since, most of the artists that we have out here are from Houston, things of that nature. So we're not so familiar with the music scene, I guess you can say, as far as Rosenberg goes.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about the music scene out there. What you guys got going on, man?
Well, as far as the music scene, it's actually picking up. You know what I'm saying? When I started getting things going, I'm not gonna say that I pioneered the shit, but as far as when I started taking the music serious, a couple years back, 3 years back when I dropped my first video, nothing was really going on. But within this past year, the artist's been going crazy out there. Shout out to my boy Doug. He goes by the artist name O'Shea. Shout out to that boy Byron Bandana. And more importantly, man, I gotta say there's someone that I grew up on that Houston knows. Houston knows him. You know what I'm saying? Buns. If y'all familiar with Lamaki 9,
Buns,
GT
man.
Garza, and Brown by Honor, you know what I'm saying? Buns was the first one that I know. I grew up in 6th grade, watching him do his thing with the SUC Legends when he dropped his first mixtape and all that. And he actually just recently reached out to me to work. And I told him, I was like, man, coming from you, that means a lot. So before me, there was Buns, and definitely inspired me. So there's some things coming up out of Rosenberg, man. There's some people that I missed out and I did not name. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Ziggy, shout out to man, I'm sorry if I forgot you. My bad, man.
The mind went blank.
Shout out to y'all. Fuck with y'all though.
It's funny you bring up Buns, man, because we had an interview last week where we were talking about Buns. His name popped up. And I was telling, it was actually Prophet. I don't know if you know Prophet. I was telling Prophet that I heard about Buns by 2008 when I was doing music. But even though I liked his music, I couldn't rock with him because him and my boy had beef.
Oh, yeah?
Leacock. So it was kind of like...
Yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. I remember.
So I was like, man, it's my boy. He be jamming, but I can't really be showing him no love.
Yeah.
And they whatever happened between them is whatever. We ain't gonna bring that up. But another artist that was pretty dope out there. I don't know if you're familiar with him. DJ Kappa. You ever mess with DJ Kappa?
Yo, I remember that name popping up on MySpace when I was a
Yeah,
kid. I probably sent that dude some music. It was probably some bullshit ass like recordings I did over a digital camera or something.
yeah.
Possibly, I don't know, but I remember that name popping up. I remember like the graphic. It was like this. I have the greatest memory, by the way, but like it was like this black background graphic, and it had like white lettering. It said DJ Kappa. It was on MySpace, and yeah, I seen the dude was from Rosenberg.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he did. I just seen the word DJ, and
He
I was like, this is
was,
tight.
man, that dude was so talented. I don't know what happened to him.
I can't put a face to him, so I don't know who it
Yeah,
is, but
I
shout
recorded at
out
his
to
place
him.
a couple of times, but shout outs to them. Shout outs to everybody out there in Rosenberg, Texas that watch or listen to the show, man.
Hey, man.
But enough about that. So talk to us as far as how and when exactly did you get into hip hop?
Well, when I got into hip hop, I when I first got into hip hop, I remember watching 8 Mile. That actually inspired me to actually go and try to do some type of rapping. When I watched 8 Mile, I went home and started battling my sister, like in the living room, in the kitchen and shit. And we were literally trying to have a rap battle right there. She probably don't remember, but that struck something and it struck an interest because I saw Eminem's character and I seen certain similarities. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I was a kid, so I didn't understand how it was to like have his certain struggles he was going through. But as far as like personally, like I adapt to it somehow. Something about being an outcast and all this other shit. And I seen he used that as his outlet. And I actually wanted to try out sports and shit. But seeing that you can't tell from the camera, but if you see me in person and shit, or if you see my videos, I'm not that tall, so the sports shit didn't work out for me. So I was like, all right, cool. This hip hop shit might work. I see Eminem doing it. I kind of adapt to him and understand where he's coming from. And once I seen 8 Mile, it was a rap. I went back home. I was like 11 years old, 10 years old, or something like that. It was around that age time, and like yeah, man, I started a rap from there. It was fucking trash, but we just go from there, and that kind of got me going. And I'll say like even just my favorite artist from that actually like inspired me to do what I do is Eminem, Tupac, Biggie's, SPM's, Houston Legends, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, your typical top five, Jay
Yeah,
Z's, all them. I listen to everybody, bro. I'm big on my influences come from every coast. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes Marc The Protege. And it actually goes along with my rap name too. So
yeah, yeah. That's what's up, man. So obviously, you just mentioned, all your influences.
yeah.
If you could compare your style, and the reason I'm asking this question now is because when I listen to your music, it's not very Houston like. It
Right.
sounds so distinct from it.
Uh-huh.
So you could, if you were to go mainstream tomorrow, people wouldn't even know you're from out here. And it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. I'm not saying that in a negative way. But if you could take an artist and be like, this is what you think your style sounds like, what artist would that be?
Man, I know the average answer. Everybody says me. I you know what I'm saying? I'm distinct. I'm myself or whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, our music is put in a certain playlist on someone's Spotify playlist, and it's grouped with the other group of artists. So if I was to say like what people group me in their workout playlist and what other artists is playing, I can only go based off that. And this sounds so weird, but you know, Kendrick Lamar, a J. Cole, things of that nature, and whatever the BPM fits and the lyrics fit. So I would say them as far as the lyrics and as far as like I guess the BPM of the music I recently be putting out. It'll also fit with like a 21 Savage and sounds of that as far as production wise. So, I mean, that's what I would say. I guess I get a lot of Kendrick comparisons, and it's not intentional, but I mean, if that's what they hear, I can't
That's what they
fight it. You know
hear.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm still trying to find my tone myself. So, hey man.
I gotta perform on that stage. We gonna get it though. We gonna do this shit. We have a good time. Because the only thing that can go bad is bad things. And I'm used to that shit. So I'm optimistic. Yeah. I go in like 20 minutes. So my brain is everywhere right now. They just hope I remember my fucking words. JK, I'm a pro with this shit. Let's get it.
Gonna find a way myself, myself, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Elevate with no help, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Play the hand I'm dealt, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Faithful to myself, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it.
Y'all hear me out there? Make a little fucking noise. Let's go straight into it. Let's go. Yo, I go by Marc The Protege. Y'all about to have to go. We 10 minutes of your motherfucking life. Let's get it. Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
Gonna find a way myself, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Elevate with no help, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Play the hand I'm dealt, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Faithful to myself, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Gonna find a way myself, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Elevate with no help, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Play the hand I'm dealt, don't need no handout. Never did need it, need it. Faithful to myself, don't need no handout. Never did, never did, never did. Never put worth in a handshake. Never put worth in a
We are the voice of the underground.